in my last vlog, I mentioned that I wanted to make some merch on Paul the Parasaurolophus. He's kind of become kind of like a mascot, I would say, to my channel and basically just my shop in general. So I went on to Procreate and I designed something that could be made into possible die cut stickers, prints, and maybe a design that could go on to handmade cards, because I really would like to branch out into something other than stickers, sticker sheets and kind of clay pins. So I thought some handmade cards might work very well with my shop. I really like the kind of florals at the moment, as it's kind of spring, summer, you're seeing like the flowers blooming and stuff. So I decided, also one of my favourite flowers is roses. So I wanted to incorporate that with Paul and kind of add like a humorous aspect that he could be like holding a rose surrounded by roses and stuff like that. And all in the same kind of colour scheme as well. So I drawn some like roses on the bottom of it, and he has kind of like a flower crown going on. I thought, again, this could be a very good like Valentine's-y idea, but I think for spring and summer, as it's floral and roses aren't just for Valentine's, I thought it was a good idea. And he looks very fabulous in his rose flower crown. And one of my favourite roses is actually blue roses. They are one of the rarest variety. And of course, he had to be holding one of them. When I was recording this, I did realise after I finished the drawing and finalising the colours and getting the backing ready for possible die cut stickers, that my phone that I've been recording on actually died. So I am missing some footage from the end, but I have kind of input a little time lapse alongside when I'm drawing, but also the end result for prints. So hopefully you like the vinyl design, and he will be coming into the shop very soon. So I actually did decide to make the die cut stickers on my machine. The colours actually printed out really well on the photo paper, sticker paper should I say, this photo sticker paper. So I realised my first lot that I did was a lot smaller than my normal stickers, and I tried to fit as many as I could on one sheet and realised that I should probably make them a bit bigger and just sacrifice a bit of sticker paper because it's not too much in the long run. So yeah, this is the final one. So on my day off, I decided to treat myself to having an hour of reading a new manga series that I have. It's called Prince Freya, and it's kind of like a shoujo manga set in like it's like an older time. It's a really bad description, but it just looked really fun and something that's quite light. And from the gist of reading the blurb and also just reading one of the chapters at the start, it just seems like an easy manga to follow along and to be able to just jump into if you haven't read it, which is basically any time that I'm reading like books or manga, I will solidly read it for like a good amount of time, and then for some reason I'll just like put it down, and not because it's a bad book or anything, and I'll just find something else, like I'll be doing shop stuff, or like I found a different hobby that I'm trying out, and then I won't go back to it for days on end, and then suddenly I'll have to jump back in without much memory of what the last pages that I've read. So I realised that I needed to get some supplies for making cards, so I decided to go to Hobbycraft, which is finally open, and it was just really fun to be able to look around an art shop. So I have a little haul from Hobbycraft. So I got these card making packs which have 6 cards in. I got one in this blue colour, they all come with coloured envelopes as well, and I got this really nice like lilac-y purple, and then I found this really pretty set of cards that are watercolour, like watercolour patterns. They have a white envelope with them. It's a 12 pack which have 3 different designs, and then I did get this delivered, so this wasn't from Hobbycraft, but I bought some pastel cards to mount some of my prints, like the Paul one that you've seen, onto, and it comes with a really nice variety of colours. Obviously I picked kind of pastels so they wouldn't kind of be too loud, and then I saw that the studio acrylics were on sale in Hobbycraft, so I treated myself to a new one. It's like an ultramarine, a pale ultramarine blue. And then I also did go into Home Bargains as I want to try some vinyl designs on glassware. So I picked up these ones. So I have this really cool like latte mug, and I really love these jars that I bought. They're mason jars. I have one actually that I use for my water for my paintbrushes, and then I got a bigger one as well. And then like a pint style one. Here's obviously an example of what I've been trying to add on to the jar. So I've got like a vinyl sticker that I put on, and yeah, I got the jar, the smaller one, the pint glass, and then this cool, like it's a really nice latte mug. So I printed these off on some specialist matte paper, and I just trimmed them down ready to be put onto cards. I kept them square because I do have the square cards, so I thought it would look uniform with them, and just to fill out space I made some smaller ones. So we've got the bigger ones and the smaller ones for different size cards, and of course I have to get Paul's approval as soon as he was the inspiration for this piece of artwork, and he features in it as well, but I think he likes them. So these are the final cards. So I didn't really film the process of me making them, just because it was me trialing and erroring kind of what worked and what didn't. But I'll be making some more in the future, so I'll try and film that. But I really like the blue, and the purple is a little more muted than I expected it to be. But I still think it works really well, especially when you don't want too much colour to take away from the actual design. And then here's the stickers. I thought I'd have a look at all of them together, and I think they all work really well as kind of a collection. So we've got the card and the stickers, and hopefully I'll have prints coming up soon. And then I was thinking, as I said earlier, I cut some that were too small. I might be giving these ones out as freebies for anyone who orders any of the cards. So you'll get a smaller freebie pull sticker when you order maybe like a couple of cards. So hopefully that will be a nice add-on for any purchases. And Paul there just judging me when he's actually in focus. There we go. So these are the final packed design. I've put one of my shop business labels on the back just so people know when they receive them where the artist who's created them, which is me, Nightshade Nook. And I actually, the lilac colour has grown on me, and with the smaller ones I made these kind of slightly smaller and non-square variants with the cards that I got from Hobbycraft. This is the purple that I actually really like, but I've really grown to like the lighter one. And then I had to play around with some silhouette cutting of the Rebel symbol from Star Wars, and I made it into some card designs. This last one doesn't really fit in with the pastel theme, but I just really love the two colours together. So my friends decided to show me how to play Apex Legends, so here's my little setup and my chocobo. So I'm trialing out some more vinyl work for the glassware that you saw my little haul of. So I'm using my Cricut maker and black vinyl. It's actually, I think it's a black matte vinyl by Casa. I got off Amazon, and I found this snake design, and I thought it'd work really well with the latte mug. So I've already weeded most of the design. I had a struggle because I think this design's made for a lot more bigger objects than like a really small mug. So I really struggled trying to get all the tiny little bits off this. And as you can see where the eyes were meant to be on the snake, I had to just kind of pull off all of it because it was just so small and it kind of chewed up on the machine. But I managed to salvage it. So, and just being able to weed it successfully enough so it looks decent was good. So I have the transfer, I don't know what it is, like transfer tape, sticker, vinyl stuff. A very technical term there. And I'm just gonna try and push it on using this kind of squeegee, so scraping it so it sticks correctly onto the transfer paper, which has it's almost like it's like a big sticker, clear sticker, basically. I think I want to, once I've played around more with adding these designs and with the vinyl and finding techniques on how to set it onto the cup, I would probably like to do like a tutorial video if anyone's interested in that. But yeah, I'm just making sure there's no like big air bubbles and kind of putting a lot of pressure down. As you can see there, as I pulled up, it wasn't stuck enough to that. Just putting a lot of pressure on and really like scraping down to make sure that it's fixed onto this transfer sheet. And as you can see, it's a bit more successful now. And slowly pulling it off so I don't end up ripping any of the design, or some bits might not have stuck. Luckily in this instance, I actually managed to do it fairly successful. And now it's on this paper. I've got a little bit stuck to it, but it shouldn't transfer onto the cup. It's positioning it. Now I always have problems with trying to get the right position on these. And most of the time I manage to get there in the end. But luckily, because this is clear, it makes my life a lot easier trying to get the right position, whether it's too left or too right. Now, I think I've put this on a bit too wonky, so trying to pull that off could be a struggle, but I'm going to try. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try and get this off. Hopefully it's... okay, I successfully managed to get it off before it sticked properly. I think the angle that I'm working at isn't really helping, but there we go. And it's always best to look at it, obviously I'm not really showing you guys very well in that, but make sure before fully sticking it down that you like the placement of the design. So I think now that's pretty much spot on where I want it to be. So now you can start really pushing it down onto whatever surface that you're adding the vinyl to. And you'll see I'm just loosely patting it down with my fingers to make sure that there's no air bubbles and that it curves around the object, and then going back in with the squeegee and kind of scratching it onto the... making sure not to do it too much that you're actually scratching the glass. But the transfer paper that I'm using on here, the transfer sticker that I'm using, is quite durable, so I'm able to kind of really scrape it onto the cup. Because you don't want to peel off that transfer and some of the vinyl still be stuck to it. You want it all to be thoroughly stuck to the product that you are using. Right, hopefully this is all stuck now. So you need to be very gentle when peeling it off. Sometimes I can be really impatient and try and rip it off quickly and it never goes well. Like now, you see the eye hasn't really stuck down. That was the part that I was struggling with before. And sometimes going back with a squeegee and just scratching it back into place, putting a little bit more pressure on the points that are weaker. Still hasn't worked. Go on with a nail. Okay, eventually got there in the end. I think the rest of the design will probably be fine, as there isn't any kind of loose bits left. I'm actually really happy with how the size that I printed out for this cup, it almost fits it perfectly. And there you go, really. It's as simple as that once you learn how to weed. And weeding is kind of just taking the bits that you don't want of the design stuck on and taking them off. Sometimes it can be really small and obviously they're stuck down to the backing of the vinyl, so it can be a bit fiddly, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. And it's stuck on there really well. I haven't sealed any of the ones that I've made so far, But yeah, I think the size worked really well for this mug. As soon as I saw this design, by the way, these designs are not mine. I have purchased the PNG files off an Etsy seller. I'll link her in the description. And here's the bee one. I really love this. This is my kind of water jar that I clean my paintbrushes on, and then I made one for Cool Cookie Creatures with a kind of like a moth, death head moth on. And that one probably was the hardest one to do. But thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you like this, I would really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. And if you wanted to check out any of my other social media. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!